Good afternoon, guys. I'm gonna have to blush today. Yeah, I'm gonna have to blush. I'd rather be honest, but I'm gonna blush for everything I've said about this car in the past. They've done some work on it. I can't believe it myself, but they have done some work. Now you'll see for yourself. Let's talk about the long range. 450 horses, 2 motors, all-wheel drive, 4.4 seconds acceleration to 100. I'm really going to have to blush today. I never thought I'd have to blush next to a Tesla Model 3 in red. There are 2 facts I've always talked about. The first is her handling. It did 83 kilometers an hour in the Moose test. BMW, in their century-long history, have never dreamed of such a result to this day. And the second fact is that last year at the main European crash test NCAP, this model took the best result in the world among all cars of this class. Safety and handling. And yes, why blush? Because I said a lot of bad things about this car, but they did, trust me, they did work on the mistakes. I'll tell you all about it now. Of all the recessed handles, this is the most inconvenient. Self-door closer is still missing, but there's double glazing on the front and in the back. Card trim materials have become more expensive, more noble. Now it is quite pleasant to the touch leatherette. It's nice to the touch. This is also leatherette. Underneath, so that you understand, don't look that it's dirty. At the bottom, it's all covered with leatherette too, not plastic. And it's soft. This is the inside of the fabric. 14 speakers, stitching, but the card looks a lot better. Plus, there's ambient lighting. It wasn't there before. Next, the curb weight of the car has become heavier. That's 1,860 kilograms in this version. I sat as I like to drive, semi-reclined, lowered in the lowest position, thus I reach the steering wheel with a reserve. And my knee fits under the screen, as you can see. A person taller than me would have longer legs and would probably bump a knee and have to pull back. But I'm the one sitting with room to spare. I can still pull back. And if I also sit up straight, my knee, even someone a little taller than me, will still fit in here. It's comfortable to sit in. All the seats are covered in leatherette. It's not bad quality leatherette, though. I like it. It's smooth. There used to be no perforations on the seats. Now there are. Before there was no ventilation. Now there is. Front ventilation heated, rear only heated. No massages. Large armrest, inside covered with fabric. As you can see, the concept has not changed, but the materials have become more expensive. That's really true. Before there was soft plastic, you know, very cheap, like in some of the cheapest Hyundai or Lada cars. But now it's the most average materials, something like Xpeng cars. The most average, however, is more pleasant, much more pleasant. In general feelings, sitting here, the car has become nobler. It feels more expensive now. Here there was just plastic under wood, ostensibly. Now it is covered with fabric. It is cheaper, I understand, than that plastic, however. It looks more interesting. It is a fact. Because that plastic, which was supposedly fake wood, it seemed just, well, like you know the feeling. Now the fabric has somehow become homely, and it is quite pleasant to the touch. It is not rough. If you choose the black color interior, the door card will be covered with cloth. Nice touch cloth, nicer than BMW iX. Not granny cloth like in iX, but very nice. Same as on the dashboard. Let's check for squeaks now. Nothing squeaks. A little bit, yeah. No squeaks? No squeaks? No squeaks. This part squeaks. That's it. I like the design of this cover. Works well. It's got fabric inside, and it's got 2 cup holders. The screen is 15 inches, and it's just an awesome screen. First of all, just so you understand, in terms of the speed of the map, it works just like gilevich.eng L9 with 2 chips. So it's just super fast. And its color reproduction, it's probably better than any Chinese except gilevich.eng. That's for sure. Take my word for it. Let's take a look at the cameras. And let's turn it on here, like this. Well, slightly worse than the Hi-Fi Z, but probably better than the Chinese for this money. Let's have a look at how the climate looks. Yes, it works quickly, just perfect in general. If you want, you can play cards here. Steering wheel height and reach adjustment is available. It is on the tablet, unfortunately. Next, the turn signals. Now it's on buttons and touch-sensitive buttons, so you understand. I've driven the car already. I can say it works quite well. They work properly. If you press it, it presses. So this is the sensor that works. There are no questions about it. These are the headlights. There's cameras, washer, voice assistant. Well, it's not bad. It's all touchscreen, but it works. I can tell you that. It works very well indeed. The gear selector's been brought out here. It's touchscreen now. Neutral, reverse, park. It's also on the tablet. Move the car icon down, up, park button here. To get out, you press this button, or if there's something wrong with the electronics, there's a mechanical lever. The battery is 79 kilowatt hours, and now it will be very embarrassing for those who like to write in the comments. Tesla has some real kilometers there, and the Chinese have some Chinese ones. Just so you understand, Tesla has a Chinese battery from a company called Cattle. 79 kilowatt hours battery here. The Zeekr 007, which has the same approximate body size in the same class, now on sale with a 100 kilowatt battery. It's from the same Cattle. It's just that Cattle sells cheaper to the Chinese brothers and more expensive to Tesla. As a result, what Chinese kilometers can we talk about if they have the same battery? Just here it is 79, you know, a little below average. And there it is 100. And the price, the most interesting thing. For long range, they ask for 290,000 yuan. White interior for extra, wheels for extra, autopilot for extra. Considering how they upgraded it, the Chinese are going to have a hard time with them. It's still a little overpriced, and it's overpriced because of the battery. But in everything else, the price is not bad, but the battery should be bigger. That's my opinion on the price. 187 centimeters tall, sat behind myself, a fist in front of my knee. Above my head, 2 fingers. I don't like the tilt of the backrest. I want to lower back down. I wouldn't be able to ride long in that position. It might be good for my back, but I can't go long, that's for sure. There is an armrest. I like the way they've done it here, by the way. I'll show you. In the previous Tesla, the armrest was small, uncomfortable, and just under the elbow there were cup holders. They've made, again I say, work on the mistakes. They made it longer, the cup holders are now farther away, and you can rest easy. It is also wide enough 2 elbows can fit here. Passengers have a small screen. I don't know if the camera will transmit or not, but it's high enough quality. Not as good as the main screen, but high enough quality. Not annoying in any case. The panorama consists of 2 panes. The rear one goes far to the rear. There's a light bulb one. Light bulb 2. It's all touch and there's a hook. By the way, this material here, this fabric here, that feels really good to the touch. It's fabric, it's not Alcantara, but it's very smooth. Let's have a look in the trunk. $480 liters, I guess. That's including this huge niche here. It's really huge. Brace yourselves. They've added noise insulation. They've really added it. Honestly, I'm shocked myself. And listen to how much the feel of the car changes. And when the finishing materials are not cheap in addition, the feeling is completely different. The car seems much more pleasant on a class higher. And how to designate how much quieter it has become? No, it is not so quiet as in the German 3. But now the noise is at the level of Volkswagen Passat and Chinese in the price range of $40,000–$50,000. That's it, gentlemen, that's it. And now, imagine how much money they managed to make on people by selling them the previous Model 3 at the same price with even smaller battery, even without ventilation and seat perforation with cheap interior trim, without a screen for rear passengers, without ambient lighting. And when sales started to fall, they changed everything very quickly. That, friends, is how this business works. That's exactly how people pay money just for air. Let's move on. Suspension is double wishbone at the front, multi-lever at the back. No air suspension for the money, of course. The suspension is tight, but it's not as stiff as the Model Y. I'd say adequate. Getting into a holes is not very painful. However, it is very easy to bypass them. The car is very sharp. Handling. Despite the fact that the car has become a little bit heavier, the car still handles very well. Owners of previous Model 3s know what I'm talking about. Very similar to the Neo ET5. Great steering above and beyond. Brakes are very lively. Some of the best I've had to test. Everything about the handling and safety of this car, including the crash test, is at the top of any world ranking today. Battery, like I said, is a shame for the money. Below average. Moreover, attention, I emphasize, embarrassing for that money. They promise on the Chinese cycle, by the way. Tesla uses the Chinese cycle, CLTC. Go to tesla.cn and see for yourself. They promise 680 kilometers on this cycle. In reality, of course, it will be 550 somewhere in the summer about. And in winter less. In cold winter even less. At high speed even less. Let's summarize. You've seen it all for yourself. The competition has forced them to move. There's no performance version yet, apparently, because the Zeekr 2.8/100 has calmed them down so much that they're sitting there scratching their heads. What to do and how to live with it now? Most likely the Performance will come out with a delay and unclear horsepower and price tag too. Most likely Zeekr has killed all their plans to release a performance version. Anyway, we're waiting to see how they respond. Okay, friends, if you liked the video, put a like, subscribe to the channel, take care. See you all again.